Creepy Josh and Joe Biden. Creepy Josh, just want to smell you. Creepy Josh. Just want to smell you. Creepy Josh.
What is going on, guys? It's Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Tonight we're going to be talking about a possible impact with Earth. We're also going to be talking about all of the elites getting hacked on their Twitter. So stick around. We're going to be live, and it is going to be a crazy show. So we'll be right back right after this.
Creepy Josh, just want to smell you. I am Joe Biden. Creepy Josh, just want to Biden.
All right. Let's get this started. Before we actually get started, real quick, I do want to do my normal disclaimer here, just so we don't get ourselves in trouble. Nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else who helps with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. I think I overdid the echo, but that's fine. Either way, if you've never been here before, my name is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, a.k.a. Marfoogle, a.k.a. whatever you want to call me. Really, it's some crazy stuff tonight, because I've been talking about impact for 2 years. I've been talking about the possibility of asteroids and things like this, and now people are talking about Neowise. Someone I actually respect a lot has said something that really got under my skin, so I'm going to show you that here in a minute. And as well, I'm going to tell you guys, or me, Dex and I are going to go over kind of the information that we got even as far back as a year and a half ago. It was very detailed. About 3 months ago, we had somebody reach out that is in the financial field that basically has a high clearance. Now, we get tons of people that, say they're this or say they're that. That's why we always reach out and try to talk to them and try to really get, down to the nitty gritty and make sure we don't. In fact, if you guys have watched me for 3 years, I have very rarely ever had to correct myself because we do the due diligence beforehand. Now, you might not agree with my opinion, that's one thing, but saying that I'm just blatantly saying something that's false, that's not true. We really, really try hard to make sure we're giving you accurate information, or if it's biased information or any kind of information, we let you know that. We also give you the source. So I'm going to bring Dex here in a second, just so you know. In fact, Dex, you can explain the website. You are the website man. You can actually follow along with us. Dex, are you there? And can you do a sound check?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So on marfooglenews.com, which is now incredibly fast because you've maximized it, can you tell them basically what they can do with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So every single show we do, we have a thumbnail that corresponds with that, and the website is organized by thumbnail. So if you go to our website and you click on this show's thumbnail, which is typically the same name that you see now, every now and then the name may change just due to what we have to deal with censorship. But when you click on that, you'll see all of the articles that we're going to talk about, sort of like our bibliography. So everything that we put together for today's show that we're going to talk about will be there. And then we also add all of the information from the callers. So at the end, by the end of the show, all of the caller information will be on this webpage as well for each show. So you can always go back in time. You can find a link to the show. You can find all the information from that show. And you can find our lovely sponsors there on the same page. So if you're ever looking for that, just remember, go to the website, marfooglenews.com.
Yeah, on the right side, you'll see that there are smart meter covers, EMP Shield, NordVPN, anybody that we work with, including all of the grounding products and things like that. You guys can support us that way if you would like. You don't have to support. This is a free show. That's the beauty of it. Of course, we are trying to grow. We're trying to turn this into a legitimate source of news. We would love to have have our own reporters. We would have love to have some respect in that field. Of course, now authoritative sources are now getting the limelight, so it's pretty rough considering what is considered authoritative. Millions of dollars in their bank accounts, I guess so. So, anyways, we're going to get into that later. But first off, I do want to go into this because this has really got under my skin, and it's. I hope it's nothing, and I've got to be careful how I phrase this to not be fear-mongering. And I don't really give a crap about fear-mongering because you guys know that anybody that's here, we face things head on, we talk about it, and it actually takes the fear out of things. Most people are not afraid of most of the things we talk about. We've talked about Yellowstone, of course, which anytime you even cover anything around Yellowstone, they say you're fear-mongering. Why? Because it's eventually going to blow up. When it does blow up, it's going to blow up half our country. We're not talking about that tonight. But again, even if you mention a subject like that, they have associated that with fear and all of this. Why? It's a volcano. It's something that happens on Earth. It's a mega volcano. And when it does go off, it's going to take out half of the U.S. It's something that should be talked about. In fact, as humans, we don't want to think about all the negative things that could happen, like, say, the whole country being gutted out by a volcano, but it's a possibility, and it's a reality of something that is to come. We've built civilization on top of areas that aren't meant to stay there permanently. Cascadia Subduction Zone is another one. I have talked about this for the entire time on YouTube. I've said, please, please, please prepare your kids, drill your family, even if they don't. I mean, that's the cool thing about Cascadia is it's pretty easy if you know what to do to convince your family to prepare. It's something that all the scientists agree it's going to happen. Again, this is not even the thing we're going to talk about tonight. If you want to go into the Cascadia Subduction Zone, of course, I've got previous episodes. You can actually go through my playlist and actually find all of that. But on another note, if you're not subscribed, subscribe right now because we do almost daily shows. Of course, we've taken a break. We're back, and we're going to be back for good, at least for the time being. So again, tonight, I want to just briefly pull this up. I'm going to pull up Israeli News Live. Now, every YouTuber has lovers, every YouTuber has haters, every YouTuber has fans, and every YouTuber has enemies. Again, I know this for a fact. But again, this is a video, and he's under the Creative Commons. I actually reached out and commented. I'm actually probably the latest comment on this video. And I asked if I could play it. I did not get a response, but then I did see that he is Creative Commons as his license, so it is actually meant for reuse. So I just want to play a small snippet. I'm not trying to play his whole video. I normally never play a video without permission, but in this case, I feel like we've got a lot of mutual people that listen to both of us. He's just a very hard man to reach in general. Okay, so I first want you to think back to everything that we've talked about. Now, Dex, see, I wonder. It's just started buffering. Okay, so one thing real quick, Dex. We had somebody reach out, and at first we didn't think much of it because of what they said. I guess it was kind of grandiose, actually. And then after we came about it, and after we put kind of the puzzle pieces together, in my personal opinion, I do believe that there is something that is bigger there, but we don't know the time frame on it. Now, Dex, can you kind of explain how that happened, how this ended up reaching us?
Well, yeah. So are you talking about the person who had the financial information and the trails that we were looking into?
Yes. So
yeah, So the one thing in that investigation and what we were doing the due diligence on was looking into understanding where the money was being spent or being allocated. And I think one of the things that was really interesting was the allocation for debris cleanup. Remember the debris cleanup that we talked about?
And we're talking about debris as
for
far as
FEMA, right?
Yeah. So FEMA is putting money into cleanup for a debris that hasn't really happened yet. This isn't, somebody could come out and say, "Oh, this is for tornado, this and that." I don't believe this is any way connected to that. Not only that, what was basically said, and this is again from I guess this is from somebody that really we can't go much into, but what they said is that we very well possibly could go through a debris field, and that debris field on this end was that of a Class 2 gas giant. Again, I get nervous even saying that part, and why this person knows is because papers have passed their desks that have approved the final financial end of it. And they were confident enough that multiple people have seen this and multiple people have okayed on this. That was the only reason we could really say anything, because there's a huge amount of people in on this. And that's what really, if it is true, that's what really kind of gets under my skin. Now, Stephen Banoon over at Israeli News Live, I do know he has really good connections. We did not. I had one really, really good connection when I started this, but I did not have anywhere near the connections we do now. We, of course, have had Congress. We've had all sorts of different people watch this show. We've had local legislator. We've had all sorts of police, military. We had a military group of almost 500 active and retired in our Discord before it was taken down, along with every other independent military group on there. And through that, we have talked to a lot of people. So through all of the stuff that we've been hearing, here's where we just want to make it clear. It's not tomorrow, it's not any day, but it's in my belief that something is there, and I have stuck to my guns on this, which I can't even say that word, it's so stupid, on the fact that something's there. Now, he talks about some stuff. I'm going to play a small clip of this, talking about going through the debris field and how there's going to be 5 asteroids in a month and how everything is kicking up. One thing I want to say, though, is like Neowise. Nobody knew about Neowise until it was just like, boom. Dex literally watches the news like a hawk and didn't even know about Neowise. I knew about it for the 3 days because it was shared with my wife on Facebook, but it came out of nowhere, right? It was discovered a few months back, and it's one of those comets that you can actually see all over the world. It's a brilliant sight. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It's not going to come back for 6,000 years or whatever. What if that is just part of what is going on right now? We saw a fireball over Florida yesterday, which was proven via dash cam footage. We've seen a huge number of asteroids and comets and meteors that have been coming in, and everybody's been seeing them. I saw 2 just about 3 months ago in the same week. I actually went live after one hit, and then I videotaped, and I got proof of it, that military planes and helicopters were going in the same direction of where it was. We then even had them confirm it in our Discord, which I wish we still had. I want to say, do you remember the name of the one of the users? He was a military user that actually checked the plane, the records, and found what plane it was and the actual. Wasn't it
Scoot?
Scoot, I think it was Scoot. So Scoot actually found not only the military Hercules or whatever it was and the path. Think about it. If you're nowhere near a airport and you see this huge jet, I forget if it was a Hercules or something else. It had equipment on the bottom. It was close enough for me to see that. It was close enough for me to get a video of it going over me, going in this slow direction. Literally the slowest I've ever seen a plane. It's like, how is it even flying? I guess my point is that almost everybody has seen these now. And I've said for 3 years that I was told that it was going to double and triple in the next 2.5, 3 years. And now we're here. And it is literally kicking it up. I think that, now with the event that is going on, we're all at home with family. And now they're about to hit the second wave. And we are actually going to be at home again with our families. And all of the observatories are closed, and the military is in Cheyenne Mountain still. They still have not talked about them coming out of Cheyenne. What were you going to say,
And
Dex?
Adam, what was, remind me the conversation you had with someone that gave you the intel about how some major cities were going to be hit, and it wasn't. I think they said it wasn't going to be a specific city. They didn't know. They just knew general areas. You remember that? We talked about it a year ago. It was that other asteroid intel that we had. So it's just like all of these pieces that are coming together. But do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and and here's the weirdest, craziest part is he's saying the same kind of things I said a year ago. The fact that he said that his source says that by September everyone would know that the planet is going to be different in some way or this or that. And again, I'm not putting dates on anything. He says so. I'm going to play a small clip of this. But again, if you've watched in the past year, this is again just talking about possibilities and in the future. We have to make sure we're getting it clearly out there.
I wanted to share some things as I get updates, try to focus on the road while I'm driving here, but I wanted to share some things as I get updates, try to find out more information for you guys, and also address the issue about Florida. Some people have, after I did the video this night before last, I guess.
And I believe he's talking about the fireball that just went over Florida, but
excuse me. People were asking me, Steve, why would you leave Florida? What's the deal with Florida? Well, it's a number of issues. But before I get into that, let me first, while we have a live broadcast, because I'm going to lose my signal very soon, I wanted to share with you the name.
By the way, notice that his car is packed to the roof, and he's saying he's about to go out of city. I don't know if he's actually leaving town. That's what the thing is how I found this. I watch a lot of his videos, but this one was actually sent to somebody else that said that they said a date like the 17th. There's no date of the 17th that I see Steven saying, and I have not heard anything about that. I did have some dates when Atlas was supposed to originally come through, and there were some dates thrown out there, but I would never listen to anybody that throws dates out per se, just to make sure that you listen to what he says and not necessarily what is going around.
Prepare for impact. I said to you back to you the name of the video, Prepare for Impact.
Buffering,
I said to you back about 4 months ago, my Pentagon source, also advisor to the president, had told me that come August or September, no, I'm sorry, not August, just September, everybody on the planet will know we're in really serious condition.
So do you notice exactly how it was phrased? That in time, it will be undeniable that it will not, there will be no way to deny kind of that things are changing, right? It's exactly what I said a year ago, and it gives me chills to hear him saying he has a Pentagon source that's saying the same exact thing.
I have other friends as well that also have very close connections in the Pentagon. And I've been going through some discussions. We've been trying to compare notes about the things that are coming. And it appears to be that the debris field.
I could probably go, Dex, while we're watching another minute of this, can you look back through my tweets about the debris field and the Class 2 gas giant? Just possibly, if you are not on the phone.
I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
That I spoke to you about 4 months ago after maybe it was.
By the way, it's buffering.
Longer than 4 months, but I think it's about 4 months ago when my own White House source shared with me that we would be going through what, as I quoted, and I think I even shared with you the email, what I call an asteroid belt. Is some sort of debris field. And I know I've got a lot of flat earth friends that don't believe these things. And listen, this is nothing to try to be different with anybody on, but I think that we've got to sit down and really weigh out what's going on and take these things very seriously, especially prayer, the love for your family, spending time with your family. But
So, by the way, this is...
we already know now.
This is, again, this could be in 10 years from now. But what is trickling down is the fact that, look at what is going on right now. Look at what happened with Jeffrey EpiPen. Look at what is going on in mainstream. Literally showing you things like Wayfair. Those things are coming to the top. The ex-presidents, Elon, Bill, Mr. Gates, all of these people getting hacked on Twitter. Do you realize how secure Twitter literally hand holds those accounts and makes sure that they are okay? So, some are saying that had to have been like an inside job. Like, is this signaling or what? Like, this is insane. Some say it's just a hacker that got 100,000 in Bitcoin. It's almost like that was a joke. Like, there's some really weird stuff going on. Who would have... Hold on. Dex, I'm going to have you take over.
Yeah, no problem. So, the thing that we see here with Steve is that, he's obviously confirming with recent sources some of the same information we've heard. If you're tracking any of the NEOs that are out there, which I've been looking at, we've got a handful that are coming in over the next actually a lot during this month. I think he mentions 5, but there's plenty more than 5, but not that many that are really close. We actually have one that was really close just on July 5th. We have another one, though, that's coming in September 1st that is going to be 0.3 lunar distance. So that means it's a third of the distance of from Earth to the moon. So that's pretty close when you think about 1/3 the distance to the moon. That's a very, very close NEO, and that's September 1st. So
now I'm back, by the way, and
go ahead.
Somebody says that was the cat something blah blah blah. The cat knocking. No, it actually was the Gary, our dog, thumping, scratching, but it sounded just like somebody pounding on my door. So I got a good. I might need to change after this. That was kind of freaky. Talking about this does give me kind of the chills, as far as I've been talking about this for 2 years, and I've been talking about how, it's not like when one person or 2 people tell you. It's when, and it's not like 500 people are telling me because there's a YouTube video out there saying it. It's because of the people, the certain people that are saying it. That's what I'm saying. So, with this, again, we got to face things like head on. Say if it was true. Say if it was in a month or 10 months or 10 years. Either way, how would you live your life if you did know something was coming? And 2, is there anything you can do about it? Why would you stress? Why would you, this is the time when... I guess it's better than discovering, you have some sort of terminal illness. It's going to be a slow and painful this or that. If the world was literally hit like that or something, I would think that would be kind of a better way to go. It's just like that. And I guess if you knew in time, you could do some of the things that you wanted to do. Would they tell us just flat out if something like this was going to happen? No, of course not. It would cause just absolute craziness. It would be chaos way beyond anything we've seen before. And it would literally cause everything to go out. Now, he also talks about why he's actually leaving Florida in particular.
Because she said that they're telling them that there's going to be major devastations on U.S. cities. So we have to ask ourselves the question, what are the devastations for? What are they caused by? Is it by the asteroid or meteorites, or is it by war? Is it by civil war? Is it by invasion? I don't know the answer. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short because I'll lose signal here very soon. I wanted to share this with you. But this, by the way, this is the reason why I was talking about not staying in Florida. Let me just make that part as well. If they cut, power gets cut, the grid goes down because of something like this, or they lock everybody down due to COVID-19 pandemic, things like that. It's just a very miserable state to get stuck in. Not to mention, if these asteroids hit the ocean, or something like that and create a tsunami. Florida coastlines are not good.
So, and with any coastline, really, I mean, you're talking about just anywhere east or west coast would not be a great place to be, right? So the thing is, people can argue all day. They could dispute his record, but he has actually been fairly accurate on almost everything I've seen. As far as he is one of the people that you don't see too many absolute haters of, because he is. I don't know. I've just always, I don't see eye to eye on everything with him. But I don't not see eye to eye because he's telling a lie or something. That's the thing. I've always seen him as somebody with integrity, and he does take back things. If he's reported something and the next day, I've seen him literally do a stream just to say that he took it back, that it was incorrect information. So hearing this kind of stuff, and you do get these different connections. Anybody can see you on YouTube. Anybody can watch you. I mean, we had PewDiePie come in our frickin' chat and do a scary emoji face. In fact, he didn't want. I don't know if it was YouTube or if it was his his assistants or whatever. They didn't want him attached to the video that I was doing at the time, which was about the very beginning of CV. And they literally went in afterwards and changed it to YouTube subscriber. You guys, a lot of you guys were there. You all clicked on it back. And this was literally right before they changed it to where you couldn't click on an icon and go visit their channel. I thought that was really weird, that change that they did. They said they did it because of sub for sub type of stuff, like, hey, click my icon or whatever. It actually made things a lot easier. If you wanted to, if you were saying hi in chat, you could go, hey, Steel Toe, I'm going to go check out your channel, and then just click on it. Either way, we've had Chris Sanchez or whatever his name is. We've had Pete Sanchez, whatever his name is. We've had reporters. We've had all sorts of people come in and out. Sometimes they're not coming in for great reasons. They're not fans. They're coming in to pick something apart or take a clip for, oh, these people are crazy or something. But again, we try to back ourselves up. We put a bibliography out. We don't. We try to keep it family friendly. At the same time, it's like we try to get out as much information as possible and give you the access to it. So again, that is what I wanted to bring up first. We've got a lot of news to cover. I'm not going to hit all of the news like I'm going to hit the headlines. I'm going to try not to go too deep into it. Again, I hope you guys share his video out. If you feel like sharing mine out, you can. But again, it's up to you. With that being said, so much weirdness going on right now. Biden's Twitter account hacked in wide-ranging security incident that targeted Obama, Gates, and others. We're talking Elon Musk. We're talking about, high-profile accounts. I'm going to go over to the chat. I want to hear what you guys think about the hacks. I did see some comments on that. Bobby D, thank you for the diamond. I appreciate you guys. I know Dano, thank you guys for being here. Renegade PD, Shy the Coffee, Jaybird 42. Stephen Banoon is a very honest person, says Gone Girl 777. Thank you, aka Archives. Bagram Dreams, never met you before. Cascadia versus YS, possibly triggered by impact. Anything is possible at this point, and Cascadia Subduction Zone could trigger Yellowstone or vice versa. You guys know I've talked to Chris Goldfinger, which was the lead seismologist. He is the world name that everybody knew because he was behind the famous New Yorker article, the really big one, and he is one of the lead scientists out of about 40 in the world that are specifically in that. He actually did an hour and 20-minute interview with me. And it was a very insightful thing. But I asked him, I said, could one earthquake trigger another? And he said 20 years ago, every single scientist would have said, yeah, no. But now it is mutually accepted across the board that it is absolutely a thing where one big earthquake can trigger one not just next door, but even on the other side of the world. So one earthquake can trigger another. One earthquake could trigger a volcano. A volcano could trigger an earthquake. And it seems like common sense, but 20 years ago, that was not a fact. That was something that, was debated. Now it's not. Now it is something that, you can scientifically say and not be laughed at. Renegade PD, again, thank you guys. Kahaja Flygirl, thank you guys for all coming out. Kelly2334. Donna Schmitz, thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. TTV Cookie JK, thank you for following. Paisley, thank you. Nikki in Hickavoig, thank you. You didn't even write anything, and you're a veteran here, so thank you so much for your support. Sandy Stamps, Marf family, listen to the truth, this channel, and Marf's contacts. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that, and you've been here a long time too. For those of you that have watched my show, this is like the gateway to kind of truth, right? There's channels that go way deeper and, way more like straight up. Again, most of them are considered fringe, this and that. We try to keep it at the surface to try to grab as many people and bring them in to get prepared, and in general, just prepare for anything that could come knocking on your door, including a dog. So, Carol Fessier, thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe, you will get a shout out. Remote Chris says, great info. Being informed helps to be prepared. Well, it also helps to not be afraid of these things at all. I mean, even what if you found out tomorrow you had cancer and you've got a month to live? There's got to be at some point where you accept in your life that we all pass away. We all perish. And, I think about it every day. I've got 3 kids with a 4th on the way. And I think about it, and, we're going to have to go sometime. Just thinking about how, my aunt's turning 70, and I'm thinking, she was like a mother to me, and I think of her as somebody in their 30s. You guys could probably all relate. You have somebody in your family that's 30, 40 years older than you, and you think, gosh, they were, I think of them as young. Now I'm older, and, it's going to go by just like that. So again, we've got to come to... A big part of this is acceptance with just anything that happens. Once you accept that and you're not afraid of it, then these are fun things to talk about. Honestly, I mean, if we are the generation or the last generation, think about how epic that is. Just saying. Tintin30 IFE, thank you for following. Christy Angel, peace and love. Well, thank you. I appreciate your support. Paisley Claire Spence, thank you for your support. I appreciate that highly. We've got Toss Dare. Congrats to you and your family. This is for Mrs. Marf to buy some munchies when she needs it. Sandy Stamps, Israeli News Live is right on the truth. Please listen to this channel, says Sandy Stamps. Delita Lodamus says, congrats, Marf. Remember to put on the whole armor of God. And Sandy Stamps again says, we all need to hear the truth. Social Observer says, we can't unite with religion. I don't know why that's a statement, but Heavenbound 813 for little Marf Mini-Me. So happy for y'all. Social Observer says, religion means revive Roman legion. Stop already. I don't even know if we weren't even talking about religion, so I don't know what the deal is. Van Aduli's crazy days indeed. Backwoods Ingenuity, live free, travel light, and work hard. 3, love FFADMs. I wonder if you're actually trying to say something there. I will look at that again. And then Social Observer again says, raise your consciousness, people. We don't need EMP shields. Doom and gloom stuff is not helping our ascension. I would have to disagree, Social Observer. I think you're actually donating to troll, which I don't understand. But thank you, I guess. Sandy Stamps, love the Marf family. Doug Dawes, thank you for joining. I would have to highly disagree with you guys. If you guys do want to support to bring up this guy, for anybody that has got them and realize how easy they are to install, this is the same protection that military bases, the DOD, DOJ, now they are officially on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. EMP Shield is actually in the Department of Homeland Security's EMP resilience report that was written directly to the president, and it is what partly made him decide to do a bill to harden the entire grid. So they are working on that right now. You can add extra protection. You can actually protect yourself against all 3 phases, E1, E2, and E3. Again, you can go check them out for yourself. If you have any questions about it, you can go directly to them. Marfooglenews.com/EMP. Again, they have one for your car. They have one for your ham radio. They have one for your solar system. They have one for your house. So again, what good is a vehicle if it doesn't get you there? If you have a bug out spot but you can't transfer there, then what the heck is the point? Again, that is marfooglenews.com/EMP. Let's see here. Oh, Wise Owl, for Mrs. Marf for chocolates, Canadian freak. Thanks for all you do, Adam. Only news I watch. Been here since Hot Musket. Love all of you. Best show on the net. Oh, Wise Owl. Oh, well, for anything. Appalachian American, thank you for subscribing. And as always, if you subscribe, you will get a shout out. Archives the Turth, thank you for being the last one out last night. And Proby, I appreciate you as well. And Smoky Mountain Gal, I'm sorry I missed you last night. Okay, so going into this though, so all of these high profile Twitters getting hacked. What do you guys think about this? It says apparent con artists on Wednesday hacked into the Twitter accounts of technology moguls, politicians, and major companies in a Bitcoin scam. Now they're saying it's a Bitcoin scam that has triggered an unprecedented and ongoing site-wide shutdown. So this actually involved shutting certain things down on Twitter. Just possibly, just hear me out. What if something was on Twitter they didn't want there, or it was something that just kind of spread like wildfire? Could they do that as well? Just saying. It says the ruse included bogus tweets from Joe Biden, Barack, Mike Bloomberg, Kanye West, and a number of tech billionaires, including CEO Jeff Bezos. Get this. They actually had these accounts tweet that if you send, it says the fake tweets offered to send $2,000 for every 1,000 sent to a Bitcoin address. Now, some dummies, and I apologize if there's one in the audience, actually sent it. In fact, it was over 100,000 in 30 minutes that this tweet was up, because it was the official account. It was checkmarked. All of these accounts were, and somehow they got all these fake tweets out. Dex, as somebody who has been in the tech industry, what do you think about this? As far as, this is a big deal. Do you think that this is almost too purposeful? It's obviously
a coordinated attack, in my opinion. And it seems to be like it's something greater than just having, we've heard of the infamous, my Twitter account got hacked because somebody guessed the password, or they didn't use a good password. And of course, they went on there and posted a bunch of things that you didn't want them to post on your account, right? But this, because they're hitting multiple accounts and they're doing it across the board, it almost seems like they got in. And since we're hearing Twitter shutting down services like the ability to change your password, the ability to log in if your password's in a defunct state. Some of those things just lead me to believe that they're on a serious lockdown, in the sense that somebody's gotten into Twitter to do this.
So as far as if this was, say, an inside job, or somebody that works there that doesn't agree with their job, or they've got some sort of, golden key to get into all of these accounts, that's what some think it is, because obviously these are super, super high profile. What if this was technically a CFO or somebody that's, high up in the company, and they were pissed off or about to leave or did something, or maybe a coder that put a back door in, or if it was truly a hack. If it was, it's not the first. This is one of many that have happened in the last 6 months. Just to remind you, over 3,000 CEOs have stepped down. All sorts of weird things are going on. And then the CEOs that are up, they're getting all sorts of weird things like this happening, like hacks. Is there some sort of signaling going on? That's what I wonder. It says nearly an hour after the first accounts were hacked, Twitter put out a statement noting that it was aware of the, quote, security incident impacting accounts on Twitter. The company said it is investigating and working to fix it, and promised an update shortly. Twitter responded to a request for comment from Fox News by pointing to its tweet addressing the matter. It says later on Wednesday, Twitter issued a new statement, says, quote, you may be unable to tweet or reset your password while we review and address this incident. So just in general, all of us may not be able to tweet or reset our password while they're addressing it. They probably have already addressed it, but what happened during that time period? And again, what did these folks get? If they were able to access, say, the former president's Twitter, were they able to access their DMs? See, the thing is if you have access to be able to tweet, you also have access to direct messaging. Not saying they don't have open DMs, but that doesn't matter, because if they're logged into that account, they can go into it. What if they downloaded DMs, secure DMs? Because, even the president is going to think, they've got me locked down. This is just as secure as anything else, right? They probably even have extra security for, say, a president's account, or somebody like Elon Musk who, knows this guy first name basis. Like, hey, can you hook me up with some security here? What kind of messages do you think were in there? What kind of messages do you think would be in the DMs if they use their DMs? And something tells me they would, especially Elon. Elon Musk is the one person I know uses Twitter DMs. In fact, I think some have actually posted DMs as far as like, oh, this guy's a jerk, look what he said. Not exactly Elon, but I want to say there's been positive things posted on Gates as far as DMs between him and somebody influential. But other ones, as far as this went up very high. I know Kanye has posted DMs. Kanye has DMs. What did they get out of there? The most private things, you would think. What if there was coded things of some of these politicians? Just very, very interesting to see. Fox News has confirmed that many, quote, verified accounts were unable to tweet at all as of 6:30 p.m. Eastern, indicating that the site had triggered a kill switch for high-profile accounts while the problem is under investigation. So they've got the high-profile accounts literally under a separate wing, and that's what I'm talking about. Dex, I mean, they're literally telling us that they have the high-profile accounts separate. They probably have them in
that's why I say this is not necessarily an inside job, but a job that somebody hacked into Twitter. Didn't just get into 6 people's accounts and happen to save the password and do it all at the same time. That's not what happened here. Somebody actually got into Twitter's backend, got in there and was able to do this.
Yeah, this is probably one of the more high profile things I've seen happen on any of the social media websites. So again, what do you guys think about this? It's pretty nuts, to say the least. Let's see here. And then we've got Gone Girl. Thank you so much for your continued support. Miss Terry Rocks. It says, please search Rockefeller Lockstep to 2010. I believe we've actually talked about that on an episode not too long ago. Auntie M, thank you. Kelly2334, Kahaja Fly Girl. We've got Kahaja Fly Girl driving in with a Guinea. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sir Average Joe, or Sir Average Joe. I can't read. Sir Average Joe, thank you for subscribing for 3 months. That's huge. Thank you. You got the Marfu badge, and I think you'll have different colored text because of that. One Adam 12, thank you. Love your name, by the way. I've probably said that before. Nosdick, T. Bori, I know Dano, Gamgri just followed. Thank you. As always, if you subscribe, you will get a shout out. Be a bad boy. Take your mask off. Girls, too. You're awesome. It was so funny. I forgot to tell you guys. I went into Cha Money's show. He was streaming, and he was actually singing the it wasn't the Masks song, it was the Apocalypse Out the Window song. And it was just funny because I just randomly came into his stream, and he happened to singing at that time, and I was thinking that's too much to even be a coincidence. It was really weird. Please search Rockefeller Lockstep again. I will definitely go and look that up. Let's see here. And we've got Unicorn Forest, Greatest Is Love, Hopkinson, Cutthroat Mom, and Solar Doberman. Baby Yoda, thank you. And hey, it's been a while. I haven't seen you here in a long time. Nice to see you that you are monetized again. Best regards. Thank you. I was not ever demonetized, but we did lose live streaming privileges That was for 3 months. Let's see here. Sandy Stamps, Marf, you were doing God's work, telling everyone the truth. He will prevail. Chrissy Teigen deleted 40,000 tweets last night, maybe cleaning up other accounts. I did not hear about that. We will all need to work together for God's work, says Sandy Stamps. Phil D187 says, keep up the good work. Stay safe. One love from New York. And Damon Draco says, we all have great trials to face in the times ahead. It says it's how we face them and how we choose to live afterwards is what defines us as a people. Oh, okay. So Love FF at ADNM's Backwoods Ingenuity explain that. It says equals Love Foogle Fam, Adam, Dex, and Mods. Awesome. Thank you for the explanation. From the ATL, Georgia, you might want to listen to Israeli news. Wink, wink, nod, nod, says Farva. Thanks for the support, Farva. And I don't know if you're being sarcastic and saying don't or do the wink, wink, nod, nod, which is something like I used to do in 5th grade, like wink, wink, nod, nod. I don't know if that's undoing what you just said. So I guess we'll see. Survival Living, thank you, Jen Ewing. Congrats on baby number 4. Yeah, we'll just leave that there. Don't rewind. Apple blocks Hong Kong voting app as Beijing declares unofficial primary illegal. It says the pro-democracy developers behind Pop Vote, an electronic voting platform for Hong Kong's recent unofficial primary, are accusing Apple of censorship after the tech giant allegedly rejected the voting platform's iOS version from its App Store. Less than a month after passing the Beijing's new Hong Kong National Security Act, more than 600,000 Hong Kongers, which is not, that's okay to say, cast electronic or paper ballots in the pro-democracy opposition's unofficial primary over the weekend. So, Dex, can you explain this as our tech expert? What are they saying? So they are saying that this had some issues with it, or they were going to use an app to vote? If you were available, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Hey, yeah, Adam. So it's clearly that what's going on here is that Apple is making a decision on what to do with this application based on the influence of the government of China. So, for example, in this case, this app was created and it was done in a pro-democracy type way from the people of Hong Kong. And because China says no, Apple pulls it down. In other words, Apple's just saying, hey, we have to bring something down because it's in violation of the legal standards of, this country. So, for example, if there was an app you were making here in America and it was breaking laws, Apple wouldn't allow it. So they're doing the same thing there because of this influence now that China has over Hong Kong. And it's kind of unfortunate. It really does shine a light on the problem. And I'd love to see Apple take a stand, but that's not the position that they're going to be in.
So they're just kind of going to run with the punches there. So we'll see what happens with that. If you want to read the entire document, you can actually go to our website, marfooglenews.com, and you can read along with us or read past us. All right, and then we've got exclusive, it says, secret T-Man order gives CIA more powers to launch cyber attacks. Okay, so this is a big deal, I think, Dex, because obviously we've got on our side, they're paving the way to make it basically when they
we just saw the giant cyber attack today on Twitter, right?
What does that make you think? What was the timing on this? Was this before or after? Like, was this already in the works? Because it's like he does this and then all of a sudden everybody big gets hit. Was that another country? Was that them saying we can get to anybody's computer? Like, what is going on behind closed doors at the White House? Like, was this something bigger than just like a Bitcoin scammer? You know what I mean? Or was this NK? I'm surprised we haven't heard that being thrown out. They've said that NK has teams of hackers. And what does NK need more than other countries? Money. Because they have all the sanctions that drop them off. So they do all these illegal kind of businesses to bring cash in. I bet you somebody will come out and say that it was NK or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking if anything, like they're using the disguise of Bitcoin, because we see these hardcore hackers that are doing these things with Bitcoin where they'll go in and lock up a city, or they'll lock down these cyber attacks where they lock everything down, and they then hold the ransomware is what it's called. They hold your entire system ransom for Bitcoin. Now, in those scenarios, they get paid a lot more money than what they made today, right? They usually get paid. They're looking for millions and millions of dollars. So that's the lucrative crime angle of these hackers. And it just seems to me like what happened here on Twitter was, hey, we'll use that moniker of crypto to sort of put up a facade of that's what we're doing. But what else was really going on? Was somebody in there getting information out of Twitter? Was somebody in there testing it just to show that they had the ability to take Twitter down or to take over Twitter?
Well, I'll say
what was really happening, right?
I'll say this, and I think you would support here too. I would say for all of you Foogles at home, if you have a Twitter account, I would say to go through all of your other stuff. Never have the same password for say your same password is for Twitter, for YouTube, for this, for that. Never have the same password across the board. And I know a lot of you do because it's easy. Some of you even probably have your birthday or something simple. Don't do that. There's now apps, and there are programs. There's even physical keys or little USBs that can actually rotate passwords or keep all the passwords into one. So all you have to do is just do the one password. All these different companies. Again, we're not affiliating for them. Just saying, with this, they could go in and get, if they did get your Twitter password, then they could, if it's the same as all the others, then they would put that and say, oh, we've got their bank password and this and that. And I know that sounds crazy to most of us, but a lot of people have their same password for everything. And I mean everything. Don't do that. Again, it's just not the smart thing to do. It says the secret authorization, the thing that he just did today, known as a presidential finding. Again, I'm not an expert on this. Known as a presidential finding, gives the spy agency more freedom in both kinds of operations it conducts and with who it targets, undoing many restrictions that had been in place under prior administrations. The finding follows or allows the CIA to more easily authorize its own covert cyber operations rather than requiring the agency to get approval from the White House. Do you see what's going on here? So they now have the approval to do something massive, and they don't have to get the approval publicly. They can just get it done. So my guess, and this is just my own kind of opinion prediction, is that we might see something big happen somewhere, and it won't be related to us. It will just be totally random, or satellites in another country go, blank for a day or something. Just saying. Who knows? I hope it's not on us. Unlike previous presidential findings, I like how they call it that, a presidential finding, that have focused on a specific foreign policy objective or outcome, such as preventing Iran from becoming a nuclear power, this directive, driven by the National Security Council and crafted by the CIA, focuses more broadly on a capability, covert action in cyberspace. So it makes you wonder if this is actually connected to actual space, not cyberspace, but what is going on up there, what is happening with satellites, what is happening with everything else. Perfect time to bring this up. If you guys don't already have it, you guys should have a VPN, a virtual private network. If you want to support this network and this group of people, you can actually do it and protect yourself against the bad guys all in one foul swoop. You can go to marfooglenews.com/VPN. It's as easy as turning it off and on like a light switch. It's extremely, extremely easy, and you can actually protect up to 6 devices. It is something that actually works across the board on tablets, on phones, everything else. And it helps support us. So it appreciated if you do end up getting a VPN of any kind, go with one of the best, NordVPN at marfooglenews.com/VPN. All right, getting back into the news, we have the U.S. CV epidemic projected to worsen. I don't have to tell you guys this. You all know it. We can all feel it happening. California already locked back down. No more restaurants again. This is going to happen all across the country once again. What does that mean? It means we're going to be locked down again, which is really freaky. What about travel? What if you do have a bug out spot? You can't go. What if it gets worse this time and they have lockdown checkpoints like they did? I mean, they did have checkpoints in some states, but it wasn't. It's like Arizona, completely closed out for a minute. That's crazy. Who would have thought that you would see freeways shut down and police doing police checkpoints to see if you live there? This is America, folks, and this is the world. We are currently in a place in the world where anything is possible. So again, I think the people in this audience and the people that watch this show are going to be ahead of a lot of others. I mean, think about it. All the people that have tweeted and sent us messages said that Dex and I, in a way, for the last year, we talked about all of the stuff. We talked about getting masks, and we were yelled at for saying it. We said, go out and get masks. We said, have food prepared, all of this stuff. When CV first hit, everybody that watched this show had extra food, had extra supplies. And when all of the shelves were bare, they were sitting pretty. Is it crazy anymore to be a prepper? Is it crazy anymore to be responsible? That's how I see it. I see it as common sense. The military does it. The government does it. And if we do it, then we're considered crazy because it's general that the general civilian public, we're just supposed to depend on those guys, right? Whether it be first responders, military, or the government. And I'm not saying that, I'm not in that same statement. I'm not saying government is bad and all this. I'm not. We don't want to be labeled that, right? But at the same time, why can't we protect ourselves? With everything that's happening right now, we should be protecting ourselves. And your friends and family are calling you crazy, saying you're nuts, all of this. Don't worry about it. Let it just go right over. Because it doesn't matter. It's a personal choice. And now after this, I bet you a lot of those same people that say, oh, this guy's a little bit loopy. He's got a bunch of food for the end of the world. It's okay to do that. Because guess what? Nobody calls the military crazy when they drill every day for a scenario that will probably never happen. That's because it's responsible. It's going down every road. It's going down every path before it happens. So when it does happen, you're prepared and you survive. A lot of the preppers in our Foogle family, we've got Central Florida prepper, we've got all sorts, we've got urban prepper, Alaska prepper, what's his face? We've got tons of preppers in the fam. And they are teaching a lot of great stuff. So make sure to check some of our Foogle fam preppers out. Again, with this, everything is about to kick up a notch. I think that they're putting things in place. I don't think it's going to get better, that's for sure. 7 ships catch fire at southern port. It says at least 7 ships have caught fire at the port of Bashur in southern Ryan. The Tasnim news agency reported on Wednesday. No casualties have been reported so far, the agency said. There have been several explosions and fire around Ryan military, nuclear, and industrial facilities since late June. Do you guys see what's happening here? Not much is covered. A little bit sneaks out. Again, this is stuff that comes out of a country where everything is filtered through things. What is really going on here? Is it a space-based weapon? Is it somebody on the ground lighting fires? Is it just pure hot out and, just having a brush fire? Maybe it's somebody threw their cigarette out on the wrong spot. Who knows? But we do see there's more to almost every story. If you guys want to view the original story, you can actually go to marfooglenews.com and check it out. Man's corpse was found wrapped in a plastic bag on the roof of a New York City McDonald's. Apparently his name was Mac. No, I'm just kidding. That's a horrible joke. That was my extended echo to show you. I was sorry. It says a dead man, or part of one, wrapped in plastic, was discovered early Wednesday on the roof of a Bronx McDonald's. Cops and sources told the Post. The body of the man, who has not been yet identified, was found on top of a restaurant on East 149th Street near the Grand Concourse just before 6 a.m. A 911 caller told police that only half of him was on the roof, according to police sources, though authorities could not immediately confirm the gruesome detail. So how did anybody even know the guy was on the roof? That's what I don't get. It says, yeah, like how would you know unless you were part of it? When do McDonald's employees go onto the roof? Or did they smell something and say, where is that coming from? And then go up there? How did they have access to the roof?
It might have been visible from a building next door, because some of the buildings are higher, right? That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh my gosh. What if it fell out of a plane or something? I'm just spitballing here, but why would it be half? Like somebody who fell out and maybe I got it. It was a real life Tom Cruise that was jumping out of a plane, but the bad guys had a helicopter, or actually, no, it was a bad guy, and the real-life Tom Cruise threw him out of a plane, and it just so happened that a Vin Diesel in real life had a helicopter, chopped him in half, and then he landed on the McDonald's, and it was reported in the Bronx. And that was all because they were up in the sky hacking Twitter. It's probably not what happened, but just a guess.
Well, and if you think that's crazy, the next story, be careful with it. It's even crazier.
I'm going to be very careful about this one. So, no head, dismembered body found in Manhattan apartment, sources say. The body was found inside a Lower East Side apartment on Tuesday afternoon, sorted in plastic bags right next to a power saw. It says police came upon the grisly scene shortly after 3:30 p.m. after the friend of a dead man requested a welfare check at the man's East Houston Street building and called police. An electric saw was found near the body, which was described as a man in his 30s. The legs and arms were completely removed. The body parts were found in a plastic bag found in the apartment. This is ugly, one cop at the scene said. So, this is close. I mean, the thing is I've never been to New York. You've been to New York. I assume, I believe you said you've been to New York. Is it?
Oh yeah.
How far is that?
They're not like right next to each other. But the point is that so this person is a CEO of a company. It was a startup company. And but the interesting thing on this one is they're saying it looked like a super professional job, and I'm thinking this is almost like you would hear in a movie, like a grisly movie, right? You don't hear this stuff, doesn't happen all the time, so it's kind of interesting in the sense that something like this has happened. They even go so far as to say that it might have been interrupted. The act that was going on, but it was so clean. There was no blood. There was, the environment was done in a very professional way, is what they were saying.
Sounds like they might have a serial, or if it's not some sort of mob tie-in.
And then you have another person that's also in a similar situation in another part of town.
And you said, because it doesn't say on this one, but the gentleman that was the victim, he was a startup CEO. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I had read. He was a CEO. I'm trying to remember if it was, I can't remember the type of company it was.
Yeah, that would, we'll fill you guys in tomorrow. I want to know what kind of company it was that he was a startup of. I think that might matter in this case. Leaders call on NYPD to bring back anti-crime unit as shootings spike. Now watch this, and this There's a lot of stuff here to unpack. It says leaders in the black community are calling on the New York Police Department to bring back the plainclothes anti-crime unit that was eliminated last month as shootings and murders spike across the city. About 600 undercover officers from the unit were set to be transferred to other assignments, including detective work and policing neighborhoods. NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea said a month ago that the anti-crime unit, which was responsible for getting GUNs off the street, had been criticized as stoking distrust in law enforcement in minority communities. It says Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, one of the African-American voices calling for action on GUN violence, criticized the police's forced decision to completely disband the unit. He deplored the recent deadly of a 1-year-old, one of the victims of New York City's recent spike in GUN violence. If you ever wonder why I say GUN or Ryan or T-Man, Commander-in-Chief, it's because we're not fighting people, we're fighting algorithms. Anyway.
So if I get that right, we're now talking about refund, right? Not defund.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out at some point. We need somebody there. Because who else is... I mean, you're going to have vigilantes, some Batmans running around. That's what it looks like it's going to have to come to. Okay, this is... Look at all this, all the stuff that's going on. Back to this. Ghislaine is now on suicide watch, which is kind of like history repeating itself. She says that she has videos of several high-profile people, and we're talking about the most high-profile. We're talking about people above the people that just got hacked on Twitter today, above the president. We're talking about the people that aren't talked about in the news. We're talking about the princes, the heirs of families forgotten. And this person has supposedly videos of things, denied bail, now is in jail, which I guarantee, I don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe CV, I don't know. But how in the heck could they say that she committed anything after what happened to Jeffrey? If they blunder this, one, it will be completely obvious, completely confirming everything that's going on right now. And two, I think people would just lose all confidence in anything the government is doing. I mean, literally, how did that happen? Well, we all know. There's no doubt why people say, well, didn't kill himself. Because, in a lot of people's opinions, he didn't. It says Maxwell is secretly married, but won't reveal who to. This is a weird one. It says evidence, however, points to this secret husband possibly being a tech company CEO Scott Borgenson. I hope it's not the guy that was in that New York apartment, who has previously been linked to Maxwell. What if this was Dex?
It's not. It's not.
Okay.
I already looked into that. I know.
Man.
But man, if you were married,
what if it was
her,
a buddy?
Like, you don't like with everything going down. If you're married to her, like, don't you think you're going to be a target?
Oh yeah. There's nothing like a woman scorned. And this one has got a lot of info. I want to see what I don't get is, why didn't Jeffrey have some sort of kill switch that if something happened, that it would be released? Kind of like what WikiLeaks founder, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm blanking. He is now in custody. WikiLeaks. Say the name.
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange. He, if something happened to him, if he was knocked off, he had a kill switches set up, so it would release all this information. Which, again, when he was arrested, did anything get released? I heard some things got released, right? But either way, why didn't Jeffrey have those? Why didn't he have, videos put somewhere that would release if he was gone? Or is he gone at all? Is he on some sort of secret island of of a prince that, public can't go to? Think about it. If you have friends that are princes and friends that are presidents, friends that are, everything, and they want to protect you because you have that kind of... Here's the thing. People would go, well, no, they would just knock them off. But what if he does have a kill switch? That's what gets me, is somebody of that level would have a kill switch and have information on people set to release. So, and they brought in the same guy, the guy that came in and said, you know, the same mortician, whatever. And if that was to be released, what if he's on an island that's owned by a prince or somebody that, you know, that no public person is ever going to set foot on? Just an idea. You know, a lot of people, they've made it look like he is actually gone, but he didn't take himself out. So most people believe, no, he didn't take himself out. But most people also believe he really is gone. I don't know about that. With the information that he has, all that kind of stuff, I don't know. So we'll see. It's really interesting. We'll see what happens with Ghislaine. She did not get bail. Duh. So we'll see on that one. All right, and then let's go over to the chat. Didn't think about that. Are there going to be callers? Yes, of course. WCMW and Fab Antarctica. Jeffrey is drinking on an island somewhere. Let's see. We used to have a few conspiracies a year, but now we have many a week. What a great time to be around. Oh, man. Smoky Mountain Gal, what's going on? Char D, Chance Paladin. Where we go one, we go all, says Grand Maravan. It's crazy that Flynn dropped that on us about a week ago. Sam Kate, Suzette Patillo. Julian is rescued a few years ago. Rebel News is interviewing people camping on City Hall. Jay Supernova. April Osborne, thanks for putting our number down there. Melody says, I think Jeff is dead. That's a thing. I don't know. I think somehow he's alive, somewhere protected because of what he had. I think he would set up some sort of switch. I think he would definitely. And people go, well, how would he get out of the jail? I think the truth already kind of leaked out and then got put back together. Somebody said when that happened that there was a transfer van with nobody on the ledger, and he was in a wheelchair, got wheeled out or something. And then others said that he was on that thing, on that stretcher. What if that was him alive? What if they gave him a shot that made him appear? I mean, that's straight out of a movie, but they really do have that. Something that stops your heart temporarily. Feel it, no pulse. Lives a second life. I mean, why else have all the blackmail? Again, and now so much stuff is going on. Damn, my dog snores loud AS, says Yabba Dabba. Well, thank you, Yabba Dabba. Thank you for sharing that with the world. D. Chait, the planet of the crossing. Aunt Jenny, what is going on? Constructions of Soul. We've got First Fire 508 says, check me out. Sandy Stamp says, it's evil. It's Satan. Pray to God for guidance. Huckleberry Hound says, you're the best math. That is old school. You work hard and it's appreciated. Well, thank you, Huckleberry Hound. Merry Christmas 2.0 says, you have forgiveness today. Repent and baptize in Jesus' name. Acts 2:37-38. This is the only way to heaven. Sandy Stamp says, the second go-round of this scam deck is coming soon. It will be much worse than the initial elite plan. Be prepared. Sandy, I actually, second round's going to be, it's going to go ding-ding, and all of a sudden we're going to all figure it out. Hopefully that's better than the other option B. Marv, the grid will go down eventually. We all need to be prepared. I agree with that. Jesus will be coming, his children soon. Don't be fooled by the Antichrist. See, here's the thing. I think that people do think that we just have power. Most people have grown up with power their entire lives. They don't think it's ever going to go away. We are so screwed without power. If the power goes out, again, nobody will know how to live. It's pretty crazy. Teresa Selby, we need ringtones, Marf. What is it? This is a good ringtone, right?
Creepy Joy, just want to smell you. Creepy Joy, just want
That one's pretty good. That's going to be my ringtone from now on. Nice to see you again. Bill Wilkinson, thank you. Keep up the good work. Stay safe. Thank you. Appreciate that as well. And then we've got Kelly2334 back in there. Callie Kit Kat. Black Doggy Yelp, thank you. I know Dano. We've got Callie Kit Kat says, congrats and welcome back. Did you hold up 3 fingers when you were talking about baby number 4? Maybe 5? Actually, I was holding up 2. And I said, don't rewind to that. Trinity, red pill, blue pill, hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Thank you for the lemon. I appreciate that. Moxie Lady, Killer Queen. I appreciate that. If you have enough, almost anything is possible. If you have enough money, anything is possible, says Moxie Lady. I believe so. And this gentleman was friends with princes and presidents and royals. I mean, come on. Just look at the creepy crap. That interview, that one interview, which kind of sunk Prince Andrew. Was it Prince Andrew? I think it was Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew. I get the princes mixed up. That one interview sank him quicker than anything. The entire royal family was sitting there like, oh my gosh, I used to sweat, but now I don't sweat. And now I do sweat, but I didn't sweat back then. Dumb. Just absolutely dumb. The guy just doesn't look intelligent in the first place. He looks like a pervert. He just looks creepy. Solar Doberman and looks just entitled. The royal family, you know, and plus they're supposed to be like thoroughbreds, or that's like, you know, inbred to me. Where do you find the seeds? Inbred. Cap the Flag, thanks for following. Eternality, thank you for following. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Let's get the phones open, Dex. First off and always off, if you guys want to protect yourself and not get traced, there's one way to do it. Well, at least one of them. You can get an EDECK bag. EDECK bags works with actual defense companies. They work with DOD. They work with FBI, making these as evidence bags, because you will not be able to hack anything in this bag. In fact, any kind of RF signals will stay in there or out of there. So if you do not want to be contact traced against your will, if you say don't want it to ever happen, you would travel with your phone in this bag or your tablet in this bag. You can get the Off-Grid, which is their top of the line, or you can actually get their utility bag they've been making for 12 years, doing that for different defense companies. All at marfooglenews.com/EDECK. That way, your phone is completely off-grid anywhere you go. That's, again, marfooglenews.com/EDECK. Use the savings code Marfoogle. Not only will you get a percentage off, but you will also be helping the channel. We appreciate you guys, all that support, and everybody that gets these. Again, there's different sizes, different things. Just go check them out. Again, this is the top of the line stuff. So, Auntie M, thank you for being here. And Eternality, thank you for being here again. It's really nice to have you in the fam. Carter55, good to see the Foogle fam. Love you, Adam and Dex. UM. Don't know what that means. All right, let's see here. Paul Crane, hit the like. 3.4 thousand here. Less than 1,000 likes. I never expect anything from you guys, but again, Justin True, Maxwell dead, denied bail waiver, right to appear. Maxwell dead, denied bail, waived right to appear. Oh, you think? Or you think that there's going to be there? I don't know. Justin True, it's nice to see you here all the way from Hawaii watching the show. I hope your channel's still going. I hope that you keep consistent and keep putting stuff out. Again, you have been here a long time, so thank you. And Paul Crane, thank you for saying that. I never say hit the like button or subscribe, but obviously if you guys like the show, then that would be appreciated. Congrats, brothers. So happy for you. We got to save this country for all of our kiddos. Paul Crane, I totally agree. Joseph Newhouse, I hope you're making videos too. Hey, let's solve a mystery. New review vid with that rune and the human brain paradox. Can you say Symbiosis in a cool voice. Thanks for streaming. Let's see. Symbiosis. Symbiosis. All right, I'm done. All right. Other than that, again, if you guys want to go see this video, you guys can find it on marfooglenews.com. Again, the whole point of this is that we think about these kind of things. We mentally prepare for anything in our life, and that means including the opposite of life. Again, I think that we will all be in a better place if we do so. If you guys have not signed up at our website, you can actually get alerts. You can also support us on earthing if you want grounding products. It's something that I have done for now over a year. It has helped me tremendously. It's helped my wife as well. In fact, the first thing that we did with it was we put it across the bed because we only had one. Now we have the entire bed covered with a grounding mat. If you don't know what it's about, you got to ask another Foogle family member. Again, this is the last way that you can support us. All of these people are companies that we truly and absolutely believe in. All right, so we're going to get started with the phones. I'm going to open it up. We've got several people in line already. We've got Adrian up first. Dex, can you bring Adrian in, please, right now?
Certainly. Adrian, you are live on Marfoogle News.
What's up? So you want to talk about
Adam,
Hollywood?
how's it going?
Hollywood QAnon. What's going on with that?
All right. Well, I've been following this for a moment now, and everything's kind of been had been a bit quiet for a while, but everything kind of started picking up leading up to July, when Q kind of started asking patriots to kind of post themselves doing the military oath, basically becoming digital soldiers because things were about to get kind of wild. And well, I don't think that the coincidence with Wayfair coming out into the light and being discovered was an accident. It seems to be that they're very likely that Maxwell was already been had been already detained a long time ago. There was a lot of posts alluding to her the property that she bought matching up with a trip code with her address a year prior to the date that she bought it. Like, almost like at a hint that we know where you're at. And only people recently were able to put that 2 and 2 together. And well, with the Wayfair thing, now the celebrities are sending each other coded messages.
Can you give us an example?
Howie Mandel.
Let me pull it up. Are you talking about Twitter stuff? Because it is really creepy to see all of the kind of signaling between celebrities.
So here's the thing. Right now, Twitter is scrambling to censor the fact that internal screenshots have shown up that basically they have they're able to block list. They have whole sections to ban certain topics, certain things. It's a storm right now. And I don't think this is these tweets, these hacks were by any chance. It was very purposeful that there hasn't been any Q posts in the past couple of days, because patriots have basically matched it up to previous messages where basically they gave us a timeline. And it matched up to another code saying that blackout would be necessary. And we're in the week of the blackout. And it seems that it was all going to be triggered by Wayfair. Here's the thing. There's so many connections to Wayfair. There is products on there coming up with Maxwell's name and literally the coordinates to EpiPen's island.
Whoa, this is
it's
weird.
Ridiculous. There's so many. I started basically posting everything. I made an Instagram just to put all this information out there, but like there's so much coming out. It's saddening. Like once we started finding out about Wayfair, everybody started looking everywhere. I found things on Amazon. I found things on this website called Kittyzen, which is meant for private people and families to resell their children's clothing, and it is sickening. These people are are putting out advertisements. It's really sad.
Now, hold on.
This is really happening.
No, and people are blasted away, and it was on every single MSM there. Now, I can't hear the sound, but it's by the way, I have Howie Mandel's. I shouldn't be. There we go. So this is a tweet, and why is he doing that? He's got a.
There's one video.
Did he make this?
He's puts up where he's talking about a bag, arts and crafts. Well, he cuts it in a specific way when if you were to fold that open, it's a 3D folded model of the Wayfarer, and he writes shoe stuff on it. But if you notice closely, it's a 5, not an S, and it's a code for basically artificial adrenaline. Artificial adrenochrome. They're freaking out and they're going through withdrawals. Notice all the celebrities that are posting how decrepit they're looking. They're sending codes. Even Ellen, there was a picture posted out of Portia de Rossi's profile with Ellen, and she has a hat on, which has a C2 on it. Other people have already connected that back to also a study on adrenochrome and schizophrenia. They're all sending coded messages about adrenochrome.
Okay, if we can, we'll just call it from now achrome. How about that? Because I guarantee you that's on their bad list. No, that's okay.
Yes,
it's a new list every day.
Okay.
So
yes, achrome, yes, but it's a legitimate
well, it's a real thing.
This is. Meanwhile, there is also reports. So this lockdown that may be happening right now is actually final steps of roundups, because in Melbourne they're saying that these lockups that are happening that are not allowing people. So there's posts coming out right now that people are some analysts have correlated that they've noticed that there has been strategic earthquakes that have happened all at the same 10-kilometer depth. They're saying that underground bunkers are being liberated, and especially because Australia has a really bad child trafficking problem over there.
What do you think about? What do you think about the movie Greenland and how that was weirdly? So normally when a movie comes out, they take down the thing.
I feel like this has all been predictive programming, because here's the thing: is that even in the post, they've already hinted. We have to think bigger. There's space matters involved. There's extraterrestrial races have always been involved in this, and a lot of information is. I find it funny that I recently saw a paper saying that the Fermi paradox, or whatever it's called, has been reassessed. And they said that there could be up to 36 different types of alien civilizations out there. And I'm maybe paraphrasing, but I remember watching Stephen Greer's UFO disclosure conference way back in the day and seeing this general thing. There's so many species of aliens. I personally know of at least 30. And I'm immediately thought of that. I was like, oh my God, really? They're all prepping us for this thing. But you see, the thing is that even Werner von Braun on his deathbed said that the ultimate end goal for the cabal is, to fake an alien, FF. They have the technology. They've had the technology. I feel is the reason behind Space Force. It's to force these black projects out into the open, and also be as a medium to start disclosing the 0-point energy, all that Tesla technology that's been basically kept secret for a while. There's a lot of things.
We've got to get on to the next. We've got callers lined up behind you, but why have you never called before? You are definitely an interesting caller.
I've called before. I'm the guy with the second son from Australia.
Oh, okay, all right. Do you have a channel? Didn't we ask? A lot of people ask you to make a channel.
I just made an Instagram. You could. I'd appreciate some love, but I'm just trying to, put out some information out there. Me and my buddy are thinking about starting a podcast here soon, but if you want to follow the reporting and all the stuff that's been coming out with what I'm finding out about the Q stuff, you can follow me on Instagram under Esoteric Visionary, all one word.
Okay, at Esoteric Visionary. All right, well, thank you, and it was so nice talking to you tonight.
For sure. Keep up what you're doing, guys, and congratulations to you and your family. Stay safe, man.
All right, thank you so much, and same to you. Thank you. Have a good night. There are so many people that are just you see that spend all of their day, looking down all of these deep holes, and you have to understand that to somebody who's just completely new, just accidentally stumbled on this, right? On this show. Maybe you're here for the first night. First of all, welcome. But second of all, you would think that gentleman sounded completely nuts. What if he wasn't? What if he was completely not nuts? What if the reality is so much stranger than the fiction? It's kind of the scary thing here. Did you think that anything that is going on right now would be happening last year? No. Do people think, that we'll never have a grid down? Yeah. Did you also kind of have that in the same area in your brain as a pandemic? Because that's what happened, right? And think about a grid down situation. They wouldn't even have to, they wouldn't have to show you proof. They would just not have, we would just not have power. Easily doable. We don't run the power companies. Ed Brown, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. You can always write a message, especially if you do anything over $2. You can write any kind of message there. I listen to your channel and Israeli News Live for the truth. Thank you for your service. I will always continue to support both channels. Sandy, thank you again. I have had several people too reach out to Stephen. I cannot get a hold of him. His Twitters are all, he's got like 6 Twitters. I've been trying to get a hold of him. I want to talk to him, even if it's not on air. I'm Stephen Banoon. This is a message to you. Please talk to me off air. I want to compare notes. You may have heard one thing or another. It's YouTube, so people are going to say crap. Get a hold of me, please. It is of the utmost importance. Adam@marfooglenews.com. That's Adam@marfooglenews.com. Astrid Ray. Hey, Marf, I have a video of the second son or whatever it is. My mom and I saw it with our own eyes, and I was lucky enough to get it on video. Astrid Ray, let's get you on the show tomorrow and have you show the rest of the audience. Tweet me the video and at Marfoogle, and we can get you on the show tomorrow. Justin True, ES, EpiPens, Dead Switch was Maxwell's info. Some wanted him dead, but most wanted him alive. Think about that. I'm sure there was a lot of people that wanted that to continue. The information gained led to Maxwell. Congrats, brother. Thank you for the congratulations, but thank you for also just coming and stopping by, man. I always appreciated how you always stayed positive. Even when there was drama going down, I had trolls saying all sorts of crap about me. You always stayed relatively neutral and positive, and you've been here the whole time. So thank you, man. I appreciate that. Especially since, you're one of the few, too, that we helped get to 1,000 subscribers, and I think a night, something like that. So it's just appreciated that you never kind of went full-on J-hole. Beyond Worth says, please realize it's controlled release. The Antichrist will get credit. To learn more about real satanic abuse, check through the Black Channel with Tom Dunn. I've been hearing Tom Dunn's name this week. I've never seen that. Aliens are fallen angels. This is the part of the great deception the Bible warns about. Repent and be baptized in Jesus' name. Acts 2:37 says Merry Christmas 2.0. Be prepared in November, says Sandy Stamps, during the election. T-Man should win again, but the Democrats will try to steal the election. There will be a civil conflict. Beyond Worth, again, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's bring it on. Dex, if you want to introduce the next caller. In fact, I'm going to ask you to talk. I'm going to pop over. I'm actually going to pop into chat if I can. Bring him on.
All right, next up we have Snafu Snap. Snafu, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Oh my gosh! By the way, since it is you, Snaf, I did not.
Yeah.
I did not bring this up, so I just want to read this real quick. Jaw-dropping crash in fertility rate as fewer children born globally. That's weird. If you guys want to go over to that, make sure to head over to our website to read that full article. Snafu Snaps, what's going on?
My brother, man, the fam, much love to you all. I sent Dex a little clip. I was just going to say, man, the optics are high. The optics are high, as we know. I always go down memory lane, and I've been looking at military movements and just especially here in America, our rights. And I remember you brought up, the subliminal messaging is getting ramped up. We talked about the quarter, the things that you talked about with nuclear plants and moves. And, the fireworks thing I thought was really interesting on Google, the algorithm thing that you pulled up. And I wanted you to know there is something that happened military-wise movement on 4th of July, which was certain ships were sent out at a certain South Sea. But the optics are high, and I did an audit recently. I've been doing audits. I did an audit at our town hall. And then I did an audit at a bank, or not a bank, but a post office, First Amendment audit. And I got some amazing footage from both inside and outside. And the clip I sent is only two minutes, but almost got arrested because of the optics of losing our rights right now. But in the end, it all worked out because the cops knew what was up. But these people are hiding paperwork mandated that should be out to the public that takes our First Amendment freedom of press away. And that's at certain post offices and things like that. And I just want to say the dangers of all you truthers out there, and even the viewers and subscribers, risking what you do to put, as I call, truthio out there. Thank you very much. But yeah, this audit was pretty crazy and intense and going through it, but I knew what was up. And it just, it's amazing what they're doing to suppress our rights and hide it in front of us too. Just amazing. Incredible.
Well, and it's all out in the open, and it's just kind of like we have to kind of accept it. And then the people that do step out get completely have the rug pulled out from under them, so they don't have that same power. It's pretty wild. And then when you do see somebody kind of that is up there and that has, basically when it really comes down to it, people say, well, why do you do this? And why they say, oh, this is for the money or this or that. I don't think people realize what gets stuff done. Money. Unfortunately, it runs the world.
And money makes the world go around, dude. I mean, people need to realize that if you believe in angels, you better believe in demons. But my whole thing is the optics are high. They're ramping up, and I appreciate what you do. You know that, man. The fam, for sure. And again, I just want to appreciate for every one of you guys for sticking up for your rights and for just even the media, man, especially in this new video I'm going to be working on in the media and going through that and just knowing what's ahead of us. As you said, many of us are prepared. Many are going to be like knocked out of their socks, shoes, the whole works. And it's gonna be rough for everyone, and I just appreciate your attitude, how you guys handle things and what you do. But the optics are high, man. Thanks for giving us a platform. That's pretty much it.
All right, well, no problem. I'm gonna pull up the audit. Thank you for calling in. I will talk to you later, Snaps.
Yeah,
and we'll put this on our website.
It's just a 3-minute. It's like just a 2-minute clip of my big video I'm gonna be doing. But again, dude, stand up for your rights. And the persecuted is going to happen, or you'll get really let go good. But remember, freedom is not free in reality.
I agree with that. Snaps, have a good night. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out. This is the video.
Much love, my man.
It is July 14th. So, okay. So, Snaps, are you still there, Snaps, actually? Okay, he's gone. You actually have it unlisted, so I guess Dex, are we supposed to share this, or
I think you could share it. It's just a teaser of a small clip of a bigger video he's working on. He just wanted to show it, I think.
Okay.
I've got that's the link he gave me.
Maybe to go home and maybe get a bite to eat.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Any good places to eat around here?
No, I usually stay at home and eat. I have health conditions.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why you don't see me wearing a mask sometimes too. I have a health condition.
These things are hard to breathe in.
It is, yes. I would wear one. I do wear one when it's needed, but my health condition.
Oh, so Dex, so this was physically there, and did he, I'm guessing he was requiring him to, well, I guess.
Autoimmune. Sometimes it's hard.
We're just going to let this person back up.
Okay. And I'm
going to let you guys go to the website and watch this yourself. In fact, make sure to head over. This is his own video, so we're going to put the link to this on our website, marfooglenews.com. If you want to find out what happens next, head over to the website.
Yeah, and maybe watch for his bigger video. That's what he told me. He's got a lot more of this he's trying to piece together.
All right, well, sounds good. I'm definitely going to be watching that too. That's just a plain face open teaser to get you over to the website, and then that's his teaser to get you over to his. So, boom. All right, Merry Christmas 2.0. There is no pre-tribulation rapture. Christians need to prepare, repent, and be baptized. Pre-trib or post-trib, I believe pre-trib, but again, we can all agree to disagree. Sandy says Stephen and his family are hiding for their safety. Reach out to his .com. Sandy, I believe you are one of the people that actually does. You are over there a lot. I'm pretty sure you're a name I've seen in chat, right? It just gives me the chills. They are, they're not the kind of couple. They're a power couple. I mean, they're both very smart people. Him and his wife are just incredibly smart, educated people. You don't see them just going on every little whim. Teresa Wrench, so much going on. Keep the faith. Well, again, it comes back to it. We need to all just realize that, things might change at a moment's notice. And it does. It's really hard to think about. It's very stressful, but you have to just kind of let it go. You kind of have to accept it. CDK, thank you for being in here. I appreciate that. Manny P, Fear Porn, thank you for being here as well. Also, in fact, Fear Porn, you would think he would be my arch nemesis, but he's actually a really cool account there. Subscription from Debbio. Thank you, Debbio, for gifting Fear Porn a subscription. Now they've got the Mafia badge. Rare Breeds, thank you for the ice cream. Bumpity, thank you for the lemons. Enchanted by You, Charlie64, Robbie fan Madeline, Stoned Whizzer, thank you. I want my NFL. Go Biancos. Go Beancos? Biancos? I don't know if that's your nickname. I think you meant Broncos. Carter55, I'm sure there's a lot of people that want their professional sports back. What about the people? Everybody knows somebody who is literally obsessed with sports, and it is their life. In fact, I know there's somebody, one of my uncles, I think he's a great uncle. He's in his 60s, but he is on the spectrum, and he literally watched sports 24/7. If it wasn't live, it was replays. I just wonder what he's doing right now. It's literally, he would go crazy without it. So I'm assuming he's watching actual video replays of old sports. It would have to be. He's so good. He knows every game that's ever happened. You could say, what game happened in 1973 on a Saturday, and he would tell you. He's savant at that point. I just wonder, though, there's a lot of normal people that are just absolutely obsessed with sports. What are they doing right now? RJB308, thank you, says, keep up the good work, Adam and the team. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gone Girl 777, thank you. Saif, what is going on? Thanks for hitting out, saying stuff to me on Twitter, heading out, or I guess you've been in other chats as well. Thank you for just in general saying what's up and repping the Marfoogle fam wherever. Old Dude Andy, thank you for gifting subscriptions to people in the chat. The Black Knight just followed. Thank you. And as always, if you're watching right now, it doesn't matter if it's not live, I will shout you out if you subscribe right now. I will shout you out all night long. Awkward. Susan Donahue popping up at the last minute. Right now, Earth is the #1 reality show in the universe. My money's on hashtag Team Humanity. Susan Donahue, there's no person on YouTube that has supported more, I believe. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else that has supported the level you do, and I appreciate you, and thank you for believing in our cause in general. Just thank you. You are permanently... We're trying to figure out a way to permanently set a few people out that have really, really supported. And obviously there's financial support as well. Like, talking to Snaps, unfortunately, we are, to be an authoritative source or to actually get our info out, there's a reason why Fox can do those things. Fox, again, I'm not saying Fox is the best news network out there at all, but they're not dependent on GOOGLE. It would be awesome if we had our website completely autonomous and running on its own. That's going to take... it's going to take financial support. So thank you guys for supporting. Paul Jordan Stanzi, thank you. Beyond Worth, thank you for following. You supported before you even followed, so thank you. Jason Beck, bless you, Adam, and your family. Jason Beck, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you revive your channel. I was watching every video, man. Don't worry if people aren't watching. You got to keep putting it out anyways. Carter 55, Adrenaline, thank you for being here. Old Dude Andy. All right, bring in the next. It looks like we've got Tango. First-time caller says, hack brief. Microsoft warns of 17-year-old wormable bug. What's going on, Tango?
Hey, not much, Marf. How are you?
Good. So what is this we're looking at? I'm going to pull out this article that you have here for us. And again, this article will be available on the website.
I am here to actually talk about more so Twitter and what went on tonight, and kind of give you my opinion from some of the reconnaissance I did early on as I watched it break. Number one, what we do know is that the actual admin screens that, let's say, the guy that is going to shadow ban you and what those buttons look like. Now, I like Dex's opinion in the fact that the Bitcoin amount doesn't make much sense, but at the same time, they would never release those screens and show us what those look like, because all that does is prove exactly what they are doing. There were buttons there to stop things from trending, to edit your actual tweet. So what you had is a bunch of people saying, hey, why don't you add that for us? Not kind of realizing overall what the big picture was there.
Wait.
How this all fits together with that.
So can I say something here? Nobody is talking about that. Some of these tweets. So you're saying, how did it even last 30 minutes? Are you saying that they could have done something but they didn't? Is that what you're saying? Or am I'm receiving this wrong?
I think someone definitely had hacked in, and someone definitely released some of those management screens that a lot of the lower level guys, they'll use like on the floor to, bump your tweets down or to change something trending. I mean, someone released the screenshots that hacked in there of those interfaces and what they look like, and what that proves is they're doing exactly what everyone thinks they're doing. They're doing exactly that. And it kind of proves that. So if it was fake and they were trying to just, let's say, scrub things they didn't want on there, they're not going to release those admin screens if you think about it. Now, that's definitely in my opinion, but it would seem like an odd thing to do to me. Now, we also know that T-Man wasn't touched, but everybody, the list is pretty long. It looks like your standard high volume sort of.
Well, I thought they're going to blame it on him. They're going to blame him next. They're going to say, "Oh, well, he wasn't touched," so it's obviously T-Man supporters, right?
Right. And the coincidence here, and why I come on, I talked to Dex for a little while. We talked a few things through. There were a few things I was unsure about, but I basically work for a large financial institution, and that exploit that you're looking at has been around 17 years. And for some reason, and I kind of understand why, it's really technical and it's not at all interesting, why some firewall guy per se could find this exploit after 17 years. It's been in major server operating systems. It came out Tuesday at 2:00, and I've never seen a place act so frantic in my life to push that. It's being pushed as we speak right now. I'm just not going to be the one on call having to deal with anything. And to just give you an idea, when you're in a large place like that, to get all those people on after the fact to test everything is a big deal and takes a lot of man hours, especially if you have thousands of apps. So my thought was, I don't believe in too many coincidences, but this is called SIG-RED, and it's a wormable sort of like virus. And what it does is grant you domain admin rights to the entire domain of any company, which is the most powerful account you can have as an IT person.
So you're saying
because you figure
you could basically get into anything.
Yeah, anything. And you would almost have to have God rights like that, is what it's referred to in slang terms, to be able to touch those check marks, wouldn't you think? I mean, those checkmark accounts have to be pretty secure, I would guess. So you would almost need
that's what I'm saying.
Some sort of DA admin. So the timing is weird, right? And the other story is it was someone internal that was floating around out there a little bit in the thread. But, you could be a vendor in there doing some work on a firewall or a router and say, hey, I need access into here. And if they have one of those DNS servers standing up, and that they could exploit it right inside so it could be a little both. Gain DA access and then start changing passwords on check marks, because they actually started tweeting out from Joe Biden's account, I believe.
What would be easier for them to hack the emails or to hack the Twitter? Because you can go to Twitter and go forgot password, and then it emails your email. Would they have had to email, or how would you even? I don't even get how they would just straight up hack Twitter, like go into their back end. And they did it multiple.
It looks like it's coming through DNS, which is the domain name system, which actually basically you have a mailing address, and is all I'm going to do is attach your last name to it and put www in front of it and .com at the end of it, and basically it's a set of numbers, so it associates the number to the name. We did the internal ones. They were just as important as anything we had externally. So it could be a little bit of both. I guess you could see how it unfolds over the next couple of days, but I found it very interesting timing, number one. Like I said, it was pretty frantic that we got it done. And then the timing to get it done was not normal. It was very much rushed. There was a huge push for it. And usually there's a lot of red tape and stuff that you need to do to just load a patch. So we're talking, you need executive level approval. I mean, that stuff came down instantly to get this done immediately. And if you're messing around doing other things as an InfoSec department and you miss something like this, this is exactly what it could cost you. Because if you have you're giving someone remote access as an engineer to come in and do some work as a contractor, and he knows of that, he can exploit it. He's already inside, then exploit that and have the rights he needs to do whatever he wants. He's probably walking around in the network, and I've noticed they said they're not sure when they're even going to give those users their accounts back at this point. They're not sure it's secure yet.
This is incredible.
I know that.
And so wait, this means so T-Man's side, he can tweet all day. Or maybe they took it away from all verified, right? He can tweet all day, but the other side talking crap about him can't.
They're saying it's everybody, but literally there must be maybe 20 or 30 people right in the original thread from Twitter support saying, well, how come this isn't affecting T-Man? Why is he able to still... This doesn't look good to me, you know, and starting to just question why. I mean, it looks to me, honestly, in my opinion only, like some sort of show of force. It really does.
This is incredible.
Whether it was...
Yeah, there's another article I just put in Tango's card there that has the screenshot, and it also talks about how this is what I didn't think it was to begin with, but it's potentially an insider job based on information that's now come out.
Wow, this is just crazy. Well, no, you suggested
that's the only way they can explain it.
Yes, It says hackers convinced Twitter employee to help them hijack. Convinced Twitter employee to help them hijack account. I mean, you would think that the company would almost want the public to know it was something rather than a faulty security, right? You would want to say, I as a CEO, I would rather say I have a bad apple and he let people in. You know, he opened the door to the house. Point. Think about it. Rather than saying, it was if it was, you know, I'm a security company, I'm the CEO of the security company, somebody walks right in the house. You would rather say, no, somebody was living at that house and opened the door for the robbers to come in. Rather than say, oh, no, they just got right past my security. You know, look at who's saying it, Vice.
I agree. It's very, they say coincidences, you know, don't believe in coincidences sometimes. And it definitely could be someone like I had mentioned, you know, letting someone in and saying, you know, here, you could do this. And when that person got in, they did 50 times more, you know, because, you know, those checkmark accounts are probably heavily guarded. You're talking, they have their DMs. But I do, the only thing, and even Dex said that, and I mentioned it earlier, is the Bitcoin ransom is really low. That's another odd thing that makes me think it's a show of force.
Wait a second. So wait,
of some sort.
Okay, I'm going to keep you on the phone for a second here.
Remember,
Dex, can you explain what this? It shows this little box says Trends Blacklist. So people are like literally.
That's the internal tool. So
wow.
That
So
screen...
we can't see it. So they can they can say this person's never getting on that trending list. That's so messed up. That pisses me off.
They would never let that slip if this was purposely. If they did this on purpose just to scrub a bunch of accounts, they would have never let that interface out like that and let people actually see that they're doing what we thought they were. That wouldn't make sense either, because it makes them look bad. They're going to be scrambling there for days. Could you imagine being in the meeting with the security team tomorrow? Oh my goodness. I wouldn't even go in if I was one of them.
This is one of the
over for them.
The best shows we've ever done. I appreciate you calling in, especially sounds like you've you just added a lot to this show. Thank you so much for calling tonight. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
No problem. Just, you know, times are strange and everybody needs to just, you know, take a step back every now and then. And I tell you what, the one thing that I've got from your show more than anything else, which I think is funny, is the grounding. Just going out in the grass like you'd mentioned. Absolutely phenomenal. From headaches to back pain to sleeping at night, the whole 9 yards. I can't believe. I actually thought it was funny at first, honestly. And my wife tried it, and
my wife was phenomenal. The same way. My wife thought it was the dumbest thing ever, and then I turned because at first we had the one, and I turned it sideways, and it just touched a part of her back. But technically, if you're grounded that way. And then the first night she woke up, she's just like, I can't believe it. Like, I don't have the neck pain. I don't have this. I don't have that. people don't get grounding unless they understand it. It's been around for a really long time. Big Pharma doesn't want you to know about stuff like that. They want you to be on. They want you to be on prescriptions. That's my opinion, but yeah, no. Well, I'm glad you got into it. It's really cool, and you can do it for free. You don't have to buy a grounding mat. The reason why people buy grounding mats is so you can do 8 hours of it while you sleep. You can go out in the grass and sit barefoot, and that's honestly that's why we put that movie there so you guys could watch it. Did you end up watching the documentary about it?
Yeah, some of it. The intro part of it. It didn't take much for me to be sold. I mean, the very first thing I did was go out and try it out, and I would imagine like an arthritis as well. I can honestly say, you know, it's made a huge difference in my life per se, just comfort-wise. It actually clears your mind a little bit too, it seems.
And I always wondered, like, why when you go out to the sand or when you go to the beach and you're barefoot, there's a certain feeling it just feels like fresh, like that cold feeling on your feet. Anyways, I getting off on the side, but I did that because I used it for a month before I ever actually got, after I ever affiliated with it. We thought this is the best situation. So, you know, as far as if we can sell a product that actually, we believe in, that's what we do. So thank you anyways. I appreciate your call, and thank you so much for being with us tonight. I hope you call back, Tango.
Hey. Yeah, I will. If I have anything else important, I'll give you guys a ring back. It was a pleasure to speak to both of you and Dex as well. You guys have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Tango.
Take care, family.
Bye-bye. That was Tango. Again, all of the callers' information, all of the articles that they shared, including this last one that actually shows, it says bounced, inactive, protected, compromised, trends, blacklist, search blacklist, read only. Like, this is the side that they're in. It's just so messed up because I know that there's like the P score. There's things like, I look at channels like the NPC show. My buddy over at the NBC show, he's skyrocketing right now, and he's going to. He's at like 60,000. He's in that. I had that growth too. All of us did. All of my peers had that crazy growth. Jacob Israel, the Prepperners, all of us have had that crazy growth. Nathan Stoltman had Voorhees on. Zach on last night on Dark Matter Digital. He does like Midnight in the Desert. You guys should check out Nathan's show. I was watching it, and he has a lot of really cool guests on. But again, Nathan was talking about how his channel's been affected, and Zach's putting together all this thing. It just really shows you that it's just messed up. It's like once you get that P score, it just kind of ends for everything. And he was talking about the good old days, 2015, where things actually shot up to the top if they were being searched, or if something was popular, that's what would be popping up. Now it's literally your job to get this stuff out. The only thing they really can't stop is you physically sharing it. So make sure to do that if you can. It would be greatly appreciated from my family to yours. Again, we're on child number 4, so it would greatly be appreciated if you help. The monetization and the donations, everything that goes on here, that does help us, and that helps us try to grow. We're trying to turn this into something bigger and something that can't be held back. There's bigger companies that are doing it now. There's several that have gotten a lot of crap, but like Epic Times and all these others that are truly putting out the information they want to, and they have a platform for it. We need to get there, and we need to get there fast before anything else happens. Auntie M, Gone Girl 777 says, my earthing mat has helped my arthritis big time. Well, what it does is it's good for inflammation. So that's the whole thing with that. So yeah, I know that I'm going to have horrible arthritis when I'm older because I've cracked my knuckles my entire life. I've actually stopped in the last 2 years. But my knuckles, oh man, I am not looking forward to like 10 years from now, or even 5, who knows. They already hurt. Ugh, I need a Marfia badge. New phone, new account, says Patriot Mitch. I don't know if that's Mitch or Mike. Or Mick. I I hope you get a Marfia badge. I hope you do. Coal Cracker, I would give you one, but I can't because that's not technically possible. Sorry if I came off wrong last Colin. Coal Cracker. Oh, don't worry about it, Coal Cracker. Honestly, you've been here long enough to know there's no hard feelings there. Barbie, thank you for subscribing. We've got DFW, Jackie, Gone Girl, and Kelly2334. By far, thank you guys for supporting so much tonight. You know you don't have to. It's really appreciated. It seriously is. And we know there's about 10 people out there that have really gotten us through the entire thing, helped us get through just a horrible time during, CV and everything that happened. There's a couple people that are going to kind of permanently be in our graces. Susan Donahue's guaranteed one of them. Cutie Pie Angelica, Lady Green Eyes, Gone Girl, Tower Bear. You guys are all awesome. Karen from Columbus. Always love to hear the callers, you and Dex. Type Girl, Tower Bear, Miss Wilson. Can you guys let me know in the chat, how many people did we have on both platforms? If you guys could let me know in the general. What was the highest you saw tonight watching live? I would really appreciate if you guys put that answer in the chat. In the actual chat right here. Whoops. Wrong one. How many viewers on both platforms did we have? If you could put that in the chat, because I didn't get a chance to see it. I know that we had a good chunk tonight. Dex, you were influential. Influential? Is that the right word to say?
I'm something.
You're something. I think no, you were there. You were there.
You had up to I saw up to 3,500 I think on one and over $2,000 on the other, or around that.
I think 35 was D Live, right?
Yeah, YouTube was 35 I thought.
Oh, okay.
And D Live was around 2,000 I believe. But I don't know what it is now.
It's just funny how it's been bouncing back and forth. Well, now
it does.
It's weird. Tuck Pup, is this current? Is this current, Dex? The top contributors tonight? Is this? Or is this last show?
That was last night. If you're looking in the screener, that's last night.
Okay. Well, last night our top contributors, Tuck Pup at 4.131. Thank you, Tuck Pup. And if you're not here tonight, I do appreciate you. Coming in hot last night. Awake, thank you so much. Number 2, Yobi. Number 3, and then YouTube admin. Number 4, Kihaja Fly Girl. You're always on that board when you're here, so thank you. You know you can just watch a show. I appreciate you constantly coming by to support. It really is appreciated. It's what makes the world go round. Tower Bear, Texas Rob 49, Dr. Neil, haven't seen you on that board for a while, and I missed you last night, so I apologize. Whisker Biscuit, Faith and Hope Canada, thank you. Tonight's Gone Girl, thank you. Huge support tonight at over 9,000 lemons. That's a really, really awesome thing. Gone Girl, you know you can just hang out too. Last night you were on there as well as Archives the Turf. Thank you. Just huge support from you. Thank you. Old Dude Andy, Kelly2334, Callie Kit Kat, again over 2,000 lemons. That's awesome. Tuck Pup, again with that as well tonight. Man, you guys, thank you. Kahaja Fly Girl, Tower Bear, Foogle fan. It's so nice to see you just in general. Thank you for repping the Foogle fam everywhere you go, Foogle fan. Foogle fam, the Foogle fan, the Foogle man. Sir Average Joe, I love your name. I don't know if you're new. I don't think I've talked to you personally yet. Jen Ewing 000. Thank you so much for being on the board tonight. You guys are all absolutely awesome. Airborne Ranger, thank you for subscribing. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Even if you're watching the replay tomorrow, I will find you and I will shout you out. I got serious. Melissa Parsha, because we should have fun. Seriously, we should. Say we had a week to live. Are we going to really be negative? You know, some people are different when everything goes off. I would say this. I really do. I've been trying to work on just being happy with where I'm at. I had a lot of health scares in the last 6 months. I had an issue inside that very well could have ended extremely bad, like this show wouldn't exist, or at least not with me. I think we all need to come to terms with what is going on in this world, and even if it was to end tomorrow, look back at your life. Look at how fast it's going. Why are we sitting here, stressing out about stuff? We should be focused on pushing each other up. If we were all doing that, it would really make a huge change. Even if just the 3,000 people that watched on both platforms, that's 6,000 people, even if it was just at that would make a difference. One person can make a difference. You can make a difference. You can make a channel. You can get your voice out there. We have hundreds of creators in our group here, and they've all made a difference. I started this by doing videos out of my car. You can do the same. And I will help you, and I will continue to help. We've helped over 500 channels now get to 1,000 or more subscribers. So I hope I can continue doing that until I perish. So, Conquest Josh, thank you. Says, great show as always. God bless Marf Mods, Marfia Truthio. A special shout out to the mods tonight. I want to know, I know that we've got J-Stone. I know we've got the usual CJ Blaze. I know we've got them. I'm going to put up a list at the end of here. Thank you all, mods. Make sure to thank a mod. Make sure to shake a mod. Make sure to pat a mod on the back of their screen name. Don't come up too slow, though, because you might be, By the way, it's time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. It's where I say thank you to the people that matter most. You. Sandy Stamps, thank you. Every time that we got the Sandy Stamps, going back around, now I got my crayons. I need to bend my arms, bend my lambs. I got my conquest, Josh and man. Gotta bring it back to it every day. Come back around and now you say, I'm about to be the airborne ranger. Going back anger. By the way, special shout out to Ilea. Congratulations on number 4. I'm so excited for you and your family. Sandy Stamp says, continue your service and knowledge. I appreciate that. Tandem Tone, Paul Jordan says, he and the Gone Girl 77. Old dude, Annie and the Kelly 2, 3, 3, 4, and that Cali Kid Cat. Going back round and you know that. Smell you, creepy Joy. Just want to smell you, creepy Joy. Just want to smell you. You know what it is. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. I've got that conquest
is Josh. I've got that one and got it bought. I'm gonna bring Aliyah down and whisk up biscuit. Got it now. Faith and hope for Canada. Texas Robin mastermind. Gonna bring it back a plan. Tower Bear and a master plan. YouTube admin talk pop. Awake and you'll be up. I'm gonna be up. Oh yes, I can't sleep. You'll be up. The news. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle Network. It's wrong. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. I'm gonna bring it down, going back. Melissa Parson, going back. I'm gonna bring it back, and I got the sag. I'm doing it just like oh that hag and hack. And that man is just a hack. It's on that right and on the left. It doesn't really matter, gotta go to bass. And I'm looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Got the carriers in the 23 Skidoo. Barefoot lass and everybody knows you. Joe Dirt and that Cali Kid Cat and the greatest love and the heavens calling. I've got that Texas Wild 49 and everybody's on that rose to the moon with the rare breeze and that hot wire barb and the D4 Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Thank you, Karen Ward, for that. Thank you, Adam. Godspeed to that. And love you and that other fam. I bring it back and oh damn. Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Got that Sandy Stamps and Conquest, Josh and Airborne Ranger Bosch, and I'm gonna go put that kibosh on Tandem Toad and Paul Jordan Sandsy. Thanks for following. I told you I would get you shouted out just like that. And Jason Beck and Susan Danahue, gonna bring you back like I love you. Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Hot wire bar with the Joe Dirt. Gonna do it, everybody, and that hurt. The nameless block and everybody works. Scrappylicious with the twisted wolf. Gonna bring the Foogle fan. Gonna get that Mr. Man. Gonna go back to a tie. I'm tired of this check-a-why. Foogle fan, that Foogle man, that putsy woo, that putsy who. Don't get it confused with pooty who and pooty who. Marfoogle News. Where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. I'm hanging out with Enchanted Bayou down by the bayou with Dr. Roxo, and I hope it's about that Roxo. I'm not that good at rhyming, yo. Crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. Looking outside of my window, singing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse wrongs. Head like a hole. Hey, it's been a minute. Seen you, brother. Thank you for showing up.
Let's find another one. Let's go like this. No.
We're on that you've got a gift for, and a Elvira gift for. Gonna bring it right back. Now you know. Every time that you've come for me, I know that you've got a gift for, and a Elvira gift for. Gonna bring it right back. Now you know. Hey, with the Foogle fan, you gotta bring it Foogle fan, and you've got to go back now, and you know that how I rob and the check why. Gonna bring it so raw, baby. Gonna bring it down and lie, baby. I'm gonna go back with the Kelly Kid Kat, and I'm gonna do it just like head like ho. And yes, I know that you got that Dr. Rock soul. Gonna do it just like that, baby, and you know. Every time that you've come for me, I know that you've got a gift for, and a Elvira gift for. Gonna bring it right back. Now you know. And I'm a worry, I see I'm embarrassing you for the ice cream. Gonna go back now, doing it every day. Now you know. You've got the enchanted by you. Gonna go back. Oh, I went by you. Bill Lover 92,000. I love you. Remember, do what you love. Have fun. If you're gonna die tomorrow, make sure today was a fun day. Do it all day, gonna go back, gonna be a play on words, gonna do it back well now like her. Gonna do it back now, gonna be that Tory surrender, gonna bring it back down, and you know. Gonna bring it back now, gonna love it just like you do. Gonna bring it every soul, and I know that you got to love it. And I do what you want me to. If it was okay with you, gone girl, side by side, I hold you hand. Hey, get it 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4. I thank you for your constant support. They took us down, then we get up again. They took us down, then we get up again. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. There is a message and we're gonna send. They took us down, then we get up again. There is a message and we're gonna send. There is a message and we're gonna send. They took us down, then we get up again. And if you're wondering where all of this weird music comes from, it comes from my head. And it's done with a 505 looper, RC 505 that is. And no, they are not good songs, but they are my songs, so I appreciate them, and I hope you do too. They are made with only my voice and a couple keyboard keys. Again. They took us down, and we get up again. See, all I have to do is just say something, like right here. I will say I love you. 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 I will say I love you.
Okay, that's not the best one, but you get the picture. Let's make a live one tonight, because it's a fun night and we might only have tonight. Maybe there's no tomorrow. We don't know. Pew! So let's start a fresh one. Yeah, that's a good one to delete. Okay, chat, give me a subject. Any subject. This one's going to be interactive. Give me a subject for the song. Any subject. Say it. Saif, Miranda 16, I Love Beagles, Texas Rob, Cowbell, Green Fingers. I got it. We are live. Catherine Willie. Okay, I woke up. What's the subject? Catherine Willie. Is that the subject? You have made my life, Adam. Felicia 84. Booty sweat? That's a gross one. Twitter Jack. Later home slice. I like it. Later home slice. Aliens and asteroids. I like that one. Aliens. Everyone's saying aliens. Grounding in bed.
Goats and that's okay, cable guy, and I'm the nameless blog, and I just want to say, lucky ticky to calm down, it's just me, and then enchanted by you, I like you. Did the J, Jilly J, did that Jilly J, oh, sit there, say, did the chest open, we need a Marfoogle didgeridoo, I'm going to be the bag, and I wish you will. That was my didgeridoo.
like a brick house. Like a brick house. Like a brick house. Brick house. Brick house. Brick house. Melissa Persha, baby lock. Calm down, it's just me, gotta get the walk. Out on the 5 line goals a day. That's how I keep my body in shape. Indie karma, gonna go karma. Up the Cora, so I can go to the store and socially distance. Cause those people stink this the place up. And Elisa Jones and the China Jammer gonna bring it hot just like a hammer. From that Canada, give me the lip. Bring it back now, bring it back now, bring it back now, bring it back now.
Bring it back now.
Bring it back now.
Hey, what you doing? That's my part of the song.
What's the extra deep voice guy doing here?
NFL can't fight it. Coming back round, not invited. Gonna leave that football alone. Gonna go back round and now I spike it. Hey Kelly, but Kelly. Gonna bring it back like my name is Sally. Gonna do it like, oh, what's a Cali? Not keeping track no more. Don't even know what day it is. I miss Garbage Day and now it's up to my neck. Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. And maybe my name is Krista. Oh, bring it back now like the Angela M. Bring it back now to the brain Sam. Sam, Emily, and oh, damn. I love Beagles. Wait, no, I don't. Ha. Chicka, chicka. I like to bring Marfoogle.
Good night. Transmission is in.
Morpheus open hat. You're not watching Urbana television. We're live from Cheyenne Mountain, along with all of the elites that we and Harry Mando have collected. Are you still there? I hope so, because this was a transmission from
It's 80s Marf. You guys have a good night now. I'm gonna be hosting somebody, and when I host somebody you don't like, make sure to not let them know. Be all positive now. Have a good night. We're gonna go head over and say hello to Cha Money.
I like to be the hill guy in the room with the beers and purity and everybody tune. Fake methods with the nano. Gonna bring it back around and I got my chum mano. Gonna bring it down now. What happened to Mr. Adano? Jimmy the Lip coming back round. Gotta go back and the grab it up. Scrape off the skip and the rip and the whoop and the what I'm saying. Hey, I rip it like this. Hey, I rip it like this. Hey. I rip it like a this. Hey, I rip it like a this. Hey, I rip it like a this.
No, I don't. Have a good night, y'all. This won't process, so remember to let people know in the comments afterwards. They're going to say, it starts at the 45-minute mark. That's because they've been weird about processing my videos. I hope you stayed until the very end. Hopefully not the very end.